let's talk about Michael Vick now. So he was talking about, the whole dogfighting incident. He said that he was really sorry. When the reporter asked him how he felt about his actions, he said disgusted. And
oh my God, I am totally sorry for that.
He sounds different than I remember him.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, when I was watching the entire interview, at some points I felt like he was being sincere. At other points I felt like this is a total PR move, to clean up his image so people like him, so he could get back into the NFL. I mean, he is back in the NFL at this point, right?
Yeah.
But basically to clean up his image and build his success. I mean, I don't know whether or not he really feels as badly for the dogs as he says he did. I mean, in one point in the interview...
I can answer that question.
In one point in the interview, hold on. This is the part that I rolled my eyes. One part... he was asked, do you feel bad because of your career, because of losing your career, or do you feel bad because of what you did to these dogs? He's like, honestly, the money doesn't matter. My career doesn't matter. I feel bad for what I did to those dogs. And right there I was like, oh, please.
So you didn't buy that. We don't have that clip ready, right? Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's only one answer to give there. At least he gave the right answer.
Yeah. One thing I learned is that he's coachable. I hadn't known that before.
What do you mean he's coachable?
Well, in terms of giving answers.
Oh, giving answers, right. One of the
this is the best coaching he's ever gotten.
Right. He was pretty candid also about his shortcomings as a football player. I did not see the interview. I TiVoed it. I haven't seen it, but I read it. I read stories about it. I mean, I don't know. First of all, I don't think it matters whether we believe the apology, because the apology isn't what matters. He went to prison. He got a 23-month sentence for a crime that did not, and how I feel about dogs, and I think that people who harm animals should go to prison. But
and why did you invite me to that dog fight between Rookie and Snuffles, that neighbor dog you guys have?
Because there was no way Rookie loses that fight.
And if he does, you electrocute him.
Right, exactly.
Rookie knows.
Right. Like, I'm not going to get another dog. Like, I'm going to hang around with a loser.
No, you don't want that.
My pets are winners. Okay?
They compete.
Right, exactly. That's what they know.
Right, they love fighting.
Right, totally. So no, I'm not soft on punishment but I think he served a 2-year sentence, lost a $135 million contract, which is not which the world of jurisprudence shouldn't care about that. That's not what they concern themselves with. But the fact is, he had the highest paid contract in the NFL. He lost it. He made a huge annual salary. So he's lost tens of millions of dollars, maybe $100 million. Though probably not, but good, easy to say he lost 20, 30, 40 million, maybe $50 million, and a couple of years of his playing career, and embarrassment, and prison, right? So I don't care whether he apologizes. He's not being a jerk about it. He's served. He gets to play. That's the end of that. I don't think there's any question. I think it's outrageous that he's not eligible to play on day one of the NFL season.
He's got to sit
he's missed 2 years.
6 weeks or something?
Why do you punish it up to 6 weeks? They think he might be back by week 3, but why punish him from the NFL's point of view? He just served 2 years in prison. Enough. And 2 years, here's the appropriate punishment. 2 years and 2 games. Then it's okay. Now it's sufficient. I just think that's crap, and I think Roger Goodell screwed that up, and I actually think he's unfair to Michael Vick. I feel bad. Of course he gets to come back and play, for crying out loud.
Well, how do you explain...
He's doing PETA. He's helping PETA. He's doing everything you can.
Society is giving talks.
I mean, and does he mean it? What do we look into it with George Bush? We can see into his soul? We can't. We don't know.
Well, if he helps out the Humane Society, for example, doesn't matter if he means it. Right. He's still helping.
Right.
And giving talk. I mean, again, the Humane Society guy in 60 Minutes was kind of cute, by the way.
Oh, he was.
He was a little bit dreamy, and he loves dogs. He made the point that now everybody knows about dog fighting, which goes on in rural areas and urban areas. I didn't think people fought with their dogs.
Right.
Bet on it.
He also gave Michael Vick a little warning.
Yeah.
Did you hear that part where he's like, if this is just a PR stunt, he's planning on working with us for a couple weeks or a couple months. He's going to be embarrassed because we're basically going to make it known that he only did it for a PR stunt and he didn't continue working with us until.
All right, good. Well, good. I mean, from a PR point of view, I don't think he has to, but I think he should. I mean, it'd be good if he spent the next year doing a lot and the rest of his life doing a little.
Just 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I know I'm not on, so
this is producer J.R. Jackson, that everyone knows.
My advice to Michael Vick, as I've kind of hinted at before, as soon as he was getting out of prison, was don't talk to anybody, don't apologize, don't say I'm sorry, don't acknowledge fans that say things to you, don't say anything. because everybody's going to have whatever opinion they have of you now. It is not going to change.
Right.
Don't work with PETA. Don't do any of this stuff because it's not going to help you. None of it's going to help you. Nobody's going to say, wow, you know what? That Michael Vick, I hated him before when I found out about how he was killing dogs. But now that he's working with PETA, everything's great. It's not going to change.
I disagree.
It's just not going to change.
But I think it's a great point to make.
I mean,
Yeah.
the very indicative thing is he answered the question the way he was supposed to answer it. What happens is eyes roll. Nobody said, I'm so surprised to hear that. This is great.
Well, let me counteract that because I think I read it. I didn't see it, but I read it, and as I read it, I thought, what's he supposed to say? And I say, hey, he's saying the right thing. Now, I'm predisposed to forgiving him because he went to prison for 2 years. Forgiving him. Who cares whether I forgive him? I mean, the question is the NFL going to let him play? Can he earn a living? This is what he does for a living. So, I don't know. I think it was right. What I think is best and what is key is partly what you're saying. I think, and I'm sure his people, assuming that he has some strategy involved in this with some PR people, and I'd be amazed if he didn't, do a big interview with 60 Minutes, do one big interview, and then you're not going to answer questions on a daily basis about dogs from now the Philadelphia media. I would stay away from talking on a regular basis. But, man, he's going to win some people over the first time he slips out of a tackle and takes it in from 37 yards out.
That's all he has to do. Do what you do. Play football.
Yeah.
And if you're successful, they'll accept you in
Yeah,
that realm.
I
No one
Ben's
in
right.
the dog world is ever going to accept you.
No question. Some people won't forgive him, but some people will. And you just look, we look in numbers. You look to, if 58% of the people are against him, I'm just making stuff up, you want to lower that to 41. You can do it.
There was something kind of unsatisfying about the whole interview, and I think this is what you were getting at, which is, and I felt James Brown's frustration, who that was the guy doing the interview.
By the way, that's a
Right.
great thing that Michael Vick got is doing it with James Brown.
It was a good interaction, but you felt his frustration because he just seemed to want to get out of Michael Vick. What part of you made you think that dogfighting was okay?
Right.
Like there had been some deeper thing learned, and I don't think we ever got that. James Brown didn't get it, and I don't get it. But I kind of, and I think maybe this.
And
is
you're saying
something-
James Brown kept going after it.
Yeah, he
All right,
kept
well, then good for him.
trying.
So I didn't see it, so I don't know
He did
what
the
we're
best
talking
he
about.
could,
Yeah.
and Michael Vick said everything he was supposed to say. And I agree with you. If he plays well, it'll be forgotten. I mean, sort of like the Kobe thing is kind of forgotten.
What Kobe thing?
See what I mean? But I think philosophically, the larger question is, should we judge a person by the worst thing they've ever done? Which is probably something we've talked about, not on this show. But
Depends on what that worst thing is.
is this that worst thing?
Well, I hope so.
For Michael Vick. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of the Young Turks? Well, then subscribe to the TYT's YouTube channel. What's the matter with you?